Well, first of all, everybody, I know it's the end of the day and we're a little bit over time, passing the time that we agreed on starting this conference, but I just want to say thank you very much to Samala for organizing this event and everybody who's been involved in all the operations for this event. It's hard to put it all together, and it's been wonderful to listen to so many inspiring women and with all these topics that are very relevant for all of us in entrepreneurship and leadership as well. My talk is going to be very brief as I have to jump out to another speaking event very shortly, but I wanted to speak to you about how to turn your passion into your career. And I'm gonna only spend a few minutes just to share some ideas and some tips to you all who's listening to this conference and about how we can turn our loves into what we're gonna do or earn money in business. A little bit about me. I'm a headhunter, I'm a recruiter. I work for different companies and banks. I work in investment banks, recruiting talent for many years now. And my story started for the frustration I have. Samala, could you turn the volume down, please? Could you put yourself into mute because it's very loud? Thank you. So my passion started, my career as a recruiter started because I had a lot of frustration before because I couldn't find my own job. And I was actually starting to apply and I have no help from anybody. And I struggled to do my CV. I struggled to do the interviews. I struggled because I didn't know how to do it properly in a country where I wasn't born. So I was living in London from Colombia, have no idea. And with all these frustrations that I have and the help that I got through the way, meeting a lot of different recruiters that helped me out on how to do my CV, on how to do an interview. That's how I start understanding more of talent acquisition. So 10 years later, I got an opportunity as a recruiter and I somehow have a lot of experience within my own frustrations on getting help and paying recruiters and talent acquisition managers to help me out on my own career. So I tell you that story because my passion didn't really come naturally to recruiting or like human resources. It actually came by accident, a beautiful accident through my own journey, finding my own career. And today, 15 years after, this is my business. My business is actually connecting people to companies and companies to great talent. So that's the background I have to share with my own personal story. And the reason for me this topic is so relevant to discussing these types of conferences is because I've met on a daily basis a lot of people who is telling me how much they hate their jobs, how much they find frustration on a 9-to-5 and they want to start their own business. But they said to me, Betty, how can I find more passion or how can I find something that I like to do or one of my hobbies I'm very good. You think I can do a business out of this? And the answer is you have to listen to your heart, but at the same time, you need to have a skill to charge as well and to make money from something that you really are passionate about. So I'm going to talk through very, very briefly about some things that I think you might help all of you to turn your passions into your careers. So as I was mentioning to you guys before, we need to discover our passions, and our passions are not only our hobbies. You know, a lot of people think, oh, I'm great at painting. Am I gonna charge for painting? It's not really the case. We can have different hobbies, but that doesn't mean we can make money or a business out of our hobbies. Our passions are very, very different. And at the same time, we need to find if we're good at that, if there is a market to it, if we can charge for it and do a complete strategy to make a business out of our own passions. So I'm going to share a few tips and a few things that have helped me and have helped others to find or to turn that passion into their career. So first of all, discover your passions. And how can we discover our passions? It's not that difficult. I think we need to be a lot more listening again to what we really truly connected our heart to the things that we love. And that means, for example, some people is very passionate about spending time with animals, or other people is very passionate about sports. I personally was always very passionate about connecting people, and it was something natural to me. So I always connect people in parties and through different events, and I end up doing this as a business, which is connecting people to the right jobs, and companies to the right talent. So you need to start listening, making a list of the things that you really connect, that your heart pumps when you listen, when you're doing them. And that's, it's very different from your hobbies, from the things that you do when you're having a weekend. That's a very different thing. So first of all, discover what your passions are, and write them down. Secondly, determine the demand of this passion. Some of the passions that we have don't really have a big demand. So we need to discover and determine the level of demand that our skill sets have, and choose a field. It's very risky to risk your career or your job just because you think that you can have a business, but you have no idea if there is actually a demand for it. So do your homework to understand how big is that demand of that skill set that you have to bring to this world. Thirdly, do your research. And what I mean is, really take the time to conduct a detailed search on what it will be your career, doing that passion as a job, or that passion as a business. So you might need to acquire a specific equipment, for example, or learn a different or have a certification or a degree or a special training. So undertake those trainings. If you need to study, like for instance, I am doing recruitment, but I have multiple studies on positive psychology. I have learned a lot of things about leadership, and I undertake a lot of different courses to get more knowledge, to be able to be more credible in the things that I share to my clients, and the things that I teach to other people. So make sure that you do your research in terms of your competition, the city that you're going to be working, how much is going to cost your designer to build that website, or how much you need to invest in the marketing strategy that you're going to do. And all these little details that will take time. Spend the time researching how can you make that passion that you have profitable. Make a plan. That's another tip. Make a plan. So, it's easy to say we have this big dream, but it's very important to really make a strategy plan of action. So determine a plan and the steps each by each on what you make that passion that you have as a reality career opportunity. Another tip will be become qualified. And going back to what I was saying before, get prepared. Prepare yourself, and people will take you seriously, because the most important thing when you do a business is that your potential clients, your potential customers will be credible in what you're saying, or the product that you're sharing, or the service that you are providing. So you must first become professional on what you're doing. Do that, of course, before you start your own business, to know what challenges you have, what opportunities you might have. And having that special skill is not enough. Just that because you have a lot of passion for something is not enough. So again, going back to study, going back to practice it, you can do that as an internship, you can do that on voluntary work, you can do that on a part-time basis, but get that qualifications or those skills trained on a daily basis, so you can become better at them. Number 6, be flexible, because at the end of the day, the road is never going to be smooth on a career that you're going to build as an entrepreneur, or turning that passion into the business. You gotta be flexible. You gotta understand that there's gonna be a lot of challenges, and the path won't never be smooth. So you have to be open to get advice and also criticism. You have to be open for feedback. to how to make things better. And finally, I will think that another thing that I will definitely share is having a mentor, someone that has done this before. So for instance, I, as a recruiter, always have mentors that have worked within the recruitment space, that have done a lot better than me, that have done a very stable company. So I get always advice through them in what they have done that hasn't worked very well, and things that have worked well for them, and I can learn from those. And also, if you have some time, or if you don't have some time, put some time on the side to put that passion that you think that you can build a business. Again, finding some time slots for yourself where you can actually try to see how they operate, if there is a market for it, how much you can charge for your services, if you can get more network in the industry, you can get some clients. So putting a mentor program on your diary once a month to people that knows how to do it, advise you, and at the same time putting some time on the side on that passion to see, you know, how can you build a network, how can you build some client opportunities. I think that's very, very important before you start it. So I hope this helps and inspire you all to turn that passion into your career. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a nice talk. And let's see, right? 1 minute. Please be online. Okay.
Okay, right now it's in the
Okay. Please be online. Fine. Betty will send you the email about the certificate. Okay. Probably by tomorrow you will receive. Tomorrow end of the day. Okay.